Good morning. I don't know what's going on with my countdown timer. I was trying something new and I don't know what's going on with that. So anyways, so today is a very surprise live. I ended up having the morning off and I decided I would just come on and see what everyone was doing. I gotta play around with my saturation. Oh, that's bad. My maybe I'll just turn this off. Oh, nope, that's not any better. Hi Viola, how are you this morning? Well, maybe that's a little bit better. I don't know what's going on with my yeah, I'm gonna have to play around with my settings a little bit. How are you doing this morning? How are you? Hey G Mama, how are you? Welcome on in. I'm just gonna try and make myself not be quite so blue. I gotta play around, I think, with the white balance on the camera anyway. There we go. I think that's better. And then I'm gonna turn the brightness down on my light a little bit. And and I forgot to hit apply. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties this morning on the live stream. Normally I do this at night, and so it's usually dark out, and so my webcam settings are all set up for the evening light. So yeah, it was 34 today this morning when we were outside, so definitely having some frost issues. Stuff got hit. I actually played around with the saturation, and the background is supposed to be red, and for some reason it's now purple. I don't know what I hit. Oh, reset. Let's try that. There we go. That's the color it's supposed to be. And I'm wearing my new Christmas sweater. So I'm trying to get into the Christmas vibe right now. So, yeah, that's what's going on. So I don't know if you saw, I just did a mail call video, but it's that time of year where the garden is starting, it's winding down, especially those of us that are in the northern provinces and countries, states. We are seeing a lack of, green. Everything's dying, and it can be a time of year that can be kind of depressing for a lot of people, especially going into the holiday season. Sometimes, we're busy, November. Here in Canada, we had our Thanksgiving back in, you know what, this light is just, I can't handle it. It's way too bright. So we're going to just see if that adjusts. Is that good? Hopefully that's good enough, because that is just way bright in my eyes. You like the purple better? Sorry. I could try to go back to the purple, but I don't even remember what I did with it. How I was fiddling with those settings. The saturation here. Was that it? There. Oh, ooh, that's hideous. I can't find it again. Sorry. Purple? Did I go that way? No. Oh, that's really ugly. I'm just pulling saturation down. Yeah, sorry. I can't go back to the purple. I apologize. I'm sorry. I can pick a different background then. Yeah. So let's go back to this. That's better, right? So, yeah, I was out there and I'm looking around and I'm thinking, there's holiday stuff going on in November. We're decorating, we're undoing the garden, pulling things apart. And then the holiday season is coming, Christmas. But then, like January, February, March, I don't know about you, but those are our coldest months. They're dreary. There's nothing going on. And then, of course, due to what is going on in the world, it's really shut down travel. So I know, a lot of people would look forward to some going somewhere in January or in the winter. Like we would go. Do I have a picture? Oh, no, that's Toronto. It's not as exciting. There we go. We like to go to Cuba in the winters. And, oh, God, my lips are so dry. Sorry. I gotta put some. Oh, that's not the color I was expecting. Thought I had lip gloss there. Never mind. So yeah, we usually go to Cuba in the winter, and that's just not gonna happen. That's way too bright. I thought it was my clear one. Yeah, just this year. I know Cuba. I don't know really even what's going on down there. I know there's a lot of social unrest. There's not a lot of food. It's just, we're not going to be able to do that this year. So, it can kind of be a bit depressing in those winter months, especially here, as gardeners and farmers, we are out. Hi, LP. Thank you so much for coming. We spend so much time out in the garden, and a lot of times, we're working physically. So that manual labor, we're out in the sunshine, we're out in the fresh air, and, we're enjoying the joys of our labor, right? Hey, Joe, welcome. Thanks for coming by. So there's so much going on in the garden, and there's so much. What's the weather there when you go? Usually when we go to Cuba in January, it's beautiful. Like it's like 80s and sunny. You do get a lot of rain. I mean, it's similar weather to South Florida because it's not that far, depending on where we're at. If we go to Holguin, which is in the lower part of the state, down towards Guantanamo, it is a lot warmer. Not a lot warmer, but it is, it can be significantly warmer because Cuba is a very big country. If we go up to Cayo Coco. So it just depends. I prefer the beaches at Cayo Coco, and it's not as far of a drive from the airport to the resort, which is kind of nice, especially since my daughter still gets motion sickness. So we don't have to give her Gravol on the bus ride if it's a shorter ride. So that's a plus. But yeah, so normally we have things to look forward to in the year, right? So it's like we got Thanksgiving, decorating for Christmas. I do my village inside, which I'll be doing in a few weeks. Christmas, and then January comes. And normally we look forward to going on vacation. And so last year we had to cancel, and this year we're not even going to book. So yeah, it's like, how are we going to try and keep that motivation, keep that upbeat atmosphere in the house so we don't get those winter blues. Seasonal depressive disorder is a very, very big thing. It's getting more and more well known, than it used to be. I grew up in Oregon, and Oregon, like the lack of sunshine in the winter there, like it's not as cold as it is here, but there's rain all the time. And that lack of sunshine really, really affects people, and it affects their mood. So where I am here in Canada, it's a lot colder, but we have a lot more sunshine, and that just really perks up your mood. Even if it's cold out, I'm always like, it might be cold, but at least it's sunny. And so that has a very big thing. So my first tip, and I am by no means an expert, but just things I picked up along the way. My first tip is going to be, get yourself some of these babies. Okay? If you're not taking vitamin D on a regular basis, you should be. And in the winter, especially if you are in colder months, colder areas where you're bundled up and you're having less skin exposure to the sunshine, start taking your vitamin D, right? It's because it's all about absorption through the skin, right? And so the darker your skin tone is, also the longer you need exposure to the sun in order to get your daily quota of vitamin D, which I think is very interesting. They released a study here in Ontario several years ago that there was an issue with a lot of immigrants that were coming from warmer climates, and they were severely lacking in vitamin D when they did testing. And so they were recommending them to take vitamin D and to be aware of the fact that due to the fact that if your skin is darker, it'll take you a lot longer to get your vitamin D. I am from the northern countries. My family heritage is Scandinavian, so I can get my daily dose of vitamin D in about 15 to 20 minutes. Especially in the winter when I have no tan. But yeah, so keep that in mind. If you have darker skin, then, you might need a half an hour. You might need an hour. You might need 2 hours, depending. Daily exposure to vitamin D. And so vitamin D deficiencies, look it up. It can cause all kinds of issues, but one of the main things is depression. Yeah. I never knew that either. And so I came across a study. Yeah, I just found out from a blood test that my vitamin D is low. And it's cheap. Like I can get a 2-pack of these at Costco, right? Like they're not expensive. And these are 1,000 IUI smaller tablets. It's very easy. It supports healthy immune system and bone health. But it's also really, really good for mood, right? And that's why they say, seasonal depression disorder. Also, they have the special lights that kind of imitate the sun mood lights. I can't remember what they're called. Mood lights, something like that. You can get them at Costco as well. They're kind of expensive, but you literally have to sit like inches away from it. But if you do have a problem with depression or anything like that, it's definitely something to look into, trying to find some natural ways. Another big thing for depression is exercise. And as gardeners, we are out there and we're digging in that dirt and we're getting that fresh air and we're lifting pots and we're lifting bags and we're moving. And then the winter comes and we're sitting on the couch and we're watching YouTube videos. And, we're watching Christmas Hallmark movies. And so a lot of times, you wonder, why you kind of get into this funk. Say come January, February, and it's like, look back at what your physical habits were in the summertime. You might be eating more fresh fruit and vegetables because it's in season. You are moving more. You are outside more. When you're outside more, you might be interacting with other people more that are outside as well. You're going for walks. You're seeing people outside. All of these things add to our sense of health, mental health, physical health, and our mood. Like they all contribute to our mood. So keeping those things in mind now as we're going into the colder, darker, shorter days. That's another thing too. When it starts to get dark at like 4:30 in the afternoon, it can be very, very frustrating. And it just is like, oh, it's a total buzzkill, right? Because we're going to get that shift to the daylight savings next week, and suddenly it's just going to be getting dark so much sooner. And so if you are someone that struggles with depression or anxiety in the summer and in the warmer months, or you've been struggling with it because of this pandemic that we've all been going through, now is the time to do your research and find ways of staving that off as we're coming across, winter is coming. We're coming into those darker months. And so it's like doing what we can now to try and keep ourselves, keep that dip from being a plummet, right? Just kind of try to even it out, right? And so one of the things that I personally am looking forward to in January, and I hope she does it again, if not, I'll do one of her others, is I started doing yoga several years ago. All of a sudden I noticed my blood pressure was going due to some stresses that I was going through. And so I started doing yoga, and it really helped. It helped with my blood pressure. It helped with my anxiety and my stress. And it also helped with my recovery physically, because I work construction with my husband. And I noticed that, after a long day on the job, I would be sore and I would be tired, but the next morning I would wake up and I would be fine. Like I wouldn't have that lingering pain and stiffness in my joints. So the yoga really helped with that, but it also really helps with mood. It helps lift your spirits. You're taking that time for yourself. Self-care. I think the term self-care kind of gets overused in this day and age. We're kind of using it a lot for, promoting. People are using it to promote products, to sell items, things like that. And so, just keep an eye on, don't just dismiss it because you think, oh, it's too, trendy or something, right? Because self-care is very, very important. And so does anyone else, just before I keep rambling here, does anyone else have any tips that they want to share? Things that they do, or they're thinking of maybe that they need to do to try and get that mental health, keep that momentum going through the winter, so you don't get those down days and feelings. Or if am I the only one? So yeah, as I was saying, yoga with Adriene, I discovered her channel. She has a YouTube channel. She has, I should check how many subscribers, because we're all about the subscriber count over here. She has a huge YouTube channel. I love her channel. I really felt like I could connect with her, her style of teaching. She doesn't get too preachy. She's very humble. I found I had struggled with a lot of different yoga videos. I would try a video and I'd be like really turned off. Some people are just, I don't know, they get a little too, another one was really like, if you want to look like me, keep doing this. And it's like, just shut up and show me the pose, right? Like, I like kind of like bragging and stuff. They were just like, I don't know, they're a little too high and mighty. So, I really like Yoga with Adriene. I'll put her link down below. But what she does is every January, she does a 30-day challenge. And so she will start, it'll be a brand new video every day for the entire month. And there's always a Facebook group for it. And I don't know, there's just something motivating about knowing it's a brand new video and that there are people, hundreds of people all over the world that are joining you and doing that practice that day. And you can sit and you can complain about, oh my God, I can't believe we had to do so much ab work, or this was such a great practice. But it's something I've been doing for the last 5 or 6 years. Every January, I do her yoga challenge. So let's see what the chat is saying. LP, I gotta move this thing out of the way. Hold on. I've been getting back into yoga and it is beyond beneficial. Don't get stuck on the stereotype. Yes. Yeah. Yoga. And especially if, if we've been doing any gardening, there's a lot of muscles that we need to move and use, keep them limber, so that come, April, March, May, when we're planting again, we'll be like, oh my God, I haven't moved these muscles in months. So right now it's National Novel Writing Month. So if you've got something you've always wanted to try writing, check it out. Oh man, I could write a novel. Oh gosh. I need to make it to the gym at 5 a.m. Probably always is just getting started because I have to switch my entire schedule around. Right now I work 7:30 a.m. to 1 a.m. Whoa, Joe. God, I don't know how you do it, buddy. Honestly, I don't know how you keep going at that. But I mean, kudos to you for, trying to fit the gym in there. That is amazing. That is amazing. Hi, Halal Homestead. How are you? Welcome in. Thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, does anyone else have any regular exercise program that they do? I'll just put that question out there and stop that screen sharing. I'm going to put the link up here. If anyone wants to join me up here, you are more than welcome. This is just a surprise chat. I ended up having the day off, and I thought, you know what? No one else is live. Might as well go live and see what everyone else is up to. So yeah, I don't know how you do it, Joe. I mean, those are some long hours, and then still fitting the gym in there. Kudos, man. Kudos. That is, that's impressive. So I just, and then still, sorry about that. I just realized that I forgot to send my friend the link to the broadcast. She wanted to join us today. So I don't know if you had a chance to see my mail call video. That just went out. I haven't had a chance to see the comments over there. But I did a mail call video, and I got my sticker and my t-shirt. Oh, I don't have it on anymore because it was cold in my hair to put my sweater on. From Yogi Hollow Farm. So go check that video out. And then I got this book. Here we go. Oh, I got to get your comment off there. Hold on, Joe. Whoop. Okay. So I don't know if you've heard of this, the High Five Habit. Take control of your life with one simple habit. So I won this over, if you haven't seen the video, I won it over in a Facebook group called Thriving with Coach Diane Evans. And she is a lovely lady that I have known for years over from the sewing community. And she started up this coaching channel. So I'm going to drop the link for that as well in the chat. And I think I sent her the link to, I just sent her the link to the live. I sent her the link to my YouTube channel. But I wasn't sure if she got the link to the live. So hopefully she'll be joining us in the chat as well. She will have some tips on, how to, stay motivated, how not to get overwhelmed. She focuses a lot in her Facebook group on the, work-life balance, which I think we all strive for. We know it's important to make money and provide for the family, but it's also important to enjoy said family, right? So it can be kind of an issue. It's a hard balance, it's a hard balance as parents. It's like, do we spend our time, creating, money so that we can provide for the family, or do we spend it just actually enjoying, spending time with the family and balancing out, especially when the kids are young, right? Like I know, a lot of people, and then they get older. My dad won, and they think, man, especially once he was hanging around his granddaughters. He was like, man, I really wish I had spent more time with the kids when they were younger, because at the time, you're a young adult, you're a young father, and you're busy working and trying to pay the bills. And, sometimes you don't realize how much you might be missing out on the kids and how quickly they grow. Like, it's like my daughter, I cannot get over how she's in middle school now, and it just seems like it was only yesterday, that we were going to toddler time and doing all of these things together. So, don't take it for granted, and try and spend those times with your family if you can, right? So LP, I work It too. It's a cool app with tons of exercise. I saw it first on Shark Tank. Oh, okay. Sworkit. I get it now. Haha, that makes sense. Sworkit good. Okay, that's cool. So it's like different kinds of different apps with different kinds of exercise. That's nice, because sometimes it's you need to keep motivated. You got to switch it up, right? If you do the same thing over and over, you get really, really bored with it. You have to get the body moving too much sitting. I know. And that's the problem, Joe, is like you're out working in the garden, and I work at work, and then I'll come home and I'll edit a video, and you'll be sitting in front of the computer, for sometimes 2-3 hours, working on editing and watching other people's videos. And it's like, oh gosh, you gotta get moving. You gotta get moving, right? Get up at least to go. That's why I try to make sure I drink a lot of water when this filter thing is a little tricky. I try to drink a lot of liquids when I'm doing anything on the computer. That way it forces me to have to get up and use the washroom. Follow me for more tips. But no, sometimes it's just little things like that, right? Like just making sure you don't put it off. Get up, go use the washroom, change a position, stretch, check it out. You really enjoy it. I will. I'll type it to. I'll send myself a message real quick. Sworkit. Yeah. I've also signed up right now for a 5-day Qigong challenge. So I can't remember exactly when that starts. It hasn't started yet, but I think it'll be starting maybe this weekend. I do like these challenges. I like these motivational, you get the email every day saying, don't forget, you got to go and do this workout today. And I like the sense of community that you get sometimes with them. If they have like a Facebook group and you can talk about, what you've done that day in the workout. I like trying lots of different sleep meditations as well. I find that it's very, very difficult. Some nights you have trouble going to sleep. Your mind is going crazy, especially if you're having any family problems, financial problems, health problems, anything like that. YouTube has amazing resources of meditations, sleep meditation, sleep hypnosis. You don't even have to do it to sleep, but you just put your earbuds in and you just lay back and you just listen. And honestly, there are times, in the past few years where I would not have gotten sleep for months if it wasn't for the sleep meditations and the sleep hypnosis. Like, it's just enough to distract your brain from the problems you're struggling with. It has affirmations, it has visualizations, it's got some nice calming music. And sorry, sometimes you just have to crank the volume up to drown out your own inner thoughts. And then it helps you drift off into a nice restful sleep. I also like planning for next year's garden. A lot of people are suggesting using this time to dive deep into some garden research, such as, say, soil. Exactly. That is one of the best things I think we can be doing, is prepping, and you get that excitement. I know I do. Like the other day, I was kind of like, oh, what am I going to do? I was kind of bored, so I went and I kind of rearranged some of my seeds, and I was just like, yay! I was like, woohoo! Girl in the woods, she gone? Girl in the woods, she gone. I don't know. Was this reference to she gone? Or I was saying qigong. Is that what you were? Girl in the woods. I don't know if that was the reference there. The comment. Sorry, I'm trying to understand what you're talking about. But yeah, so, it was funny. I was talking with some friends a few weeks ago. We went for a walk, and I was saying how, she was talking about some, she was having problems with some anxiety and issues like that. And I said, well, have you looked into, there's different, supplements that you can take and things to help, vitamin D is really, really good. Another thing I take at night to help me sleep and to deal with stress is ashwagandha. And as gardeners, a lot of us, oh, hey, Danny, thanks for coming. Wicked awesome gardening. Ashwagandha is something that I can take at night. She says that all the time. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't get the reference. My bad. And they both looked at me and they're like, why would you take it? Why would you have stress? And I'm like, everyone has stress. It's just some people just don't deal with it, I guess, right? Or they just say, oh, I'm stressed out. I have anxiety. I have this, I have that. And then they don't do anything with it. Anytime. Oh, I thought you said you were doing a challenge. Qigong challenge. No, sorry. No, I'm a Qigong challenge. Yeah, that's all right. It's all right. I think we got it all sorted out now. Yeah. Qigong, is that like when you just leave like the house? Like, you're like, I'm done. I'm not cleaning. I'm not doing anything. I'm gone for the day. Because I've had those days too. You just get in the car and you're just like, nope. So, I'm not saying that I don't have stresses. Everyone has stresses, but sometimes as soon as I have a stress or I have a problem or something, I look into it. I research it. I'll go online, how can I help with this? What can I take? Is there any, are there supplements? Is there, nutritional deficiencies I'm having that could be causing this? And, I'll do the meditations for it. I will do, look into it. That's why I started. I'll do the yoga. If I feel that I'm getting down and, I'm frustrated, stuff isn't, I just have one of those days. I'll be like, nope, I need to stop. I need to refocus. I'll do a workout. I'll go for a walk. I'll do something like that. Right. But you got to take action. I don't want to be someone that just sits back and, has issues without, trying to deal with them. Right. With all the shows and having to move and stuff, I'm going nuts. Not enough time in the day. And it's not, yeah, exactly. The daylight makes a huge difference. And I think sometimes we have, I think people are talking about it more, but in the past, I think it was just something that no one really dealt with. I walk with my two dogs every morning, and and honestly, you know what, having to get out because that dog, now I don't have that issue anymore because my dog is 16, almost 16. He'll be 16 in January. And, he doesn't need to go for as long a walk. So sometimes I actually will go and bother the neighbor's dog and take him for a walk. I'll leave my dog in their garage and I'll take their dog because they have a 4-year-old beagle and he loves to go for walks. So I will take him and go for a walk. And I should be doing that more because honestly, it's an easy excuse. My little guy will maybe make it to, up the street, a few houses and back. And then it's like, oh, well, he went for his walk. And I mean, that's all he can do, right? Because his back legs aren't doing so well. He's got issues and stuff, but I need to, get out there more, get the walks in. Sometimes it's easier as my daughter's getting older. I don't have to go walk her back and forth to the park and all of that. She's doing it all on her own. And so I'm sitting back and relaxing, which is great for my mental health sometimes. It's nice to not have to worry about it. But physically, I need to get more into it. And I used to actually go when she wanted to go to the park in the evenings. I would go and I would bring my yoga mat. And I would get a few of my friends together and I would bring my tablet and we would do a yoga in the park video, a yoga with Adriene video in the park. Or sometimes if I was just by myself, I would just bring the mat and do yoga myself, while she's playing, especially if I didn't have anyone to talk to or anything to read, or do, yoga for about a half hour and then I would read a book or whatever. And, it really it was nice to keep me into that habit. And then she was always excited that I was going to do yoga because that meant that she got to go and stay down and hang out with her friends longer. But it is getting colder and, I don't like doing yoga when it's freezing cold. So I will be doing it more in the house. So I need to hold myself more accountable to that. Here we go. I need to start seeds starting in the late winter, early spring. Oh, and go find some Aussie, Caribbean, warm weather gardeners to watch while it's all cold. Oh, see, I don't know. I have a hard time sometimes because I do have zone envy big time. And so sometimes when I see, like, I'll be okay with like the Aussies because it's their summer. But like when I see people in California complaining about it being cold in January and they have to wrap their tomato plant, I'm like, no, that I get bitter. Hey, GT, welcome so much all the way from Alaska. Good morning. It looks like you guys might be getting some snow today. Is that true? I was checking the forecast for Anchorage yesterday with my dad, and he was looking at maybe a little bit of snow today and tomorrow, perhaps. LP, the Nature Patch, Marty's Garden, Farming in the City with Stacy. Just so many more. Oh, well, Stacy's always happy, right? Like, you can't be depressed watching Stacy on YouTube, eh? Like, she's always seems to be so uplifting and in such a good mood. I don't know if I watched the other two, though. I will have to check those out. Yeah, gardening in Jamaica must be nice. Who else we got going on here? People are just saying hello. She's basically a homesteader, but in the woods, she'll say she gone and then go do she's high energy on her channel. That's awesome. We need more high energy channels. I always find Nicole from Flower Hill Farm. Like it's like, seriously, what is in her water? Because she gets so much done in a day. Like I can't even fathom it, right? Yeah, okay, I will have to go check that out. Actually, if you don't mind just leaving, putting a link to her thing in there. Bare compost time. Yeah, buddy. So true. Stick to the southern. You know what? Another thing I do look forward to in January is the return of Death in Paradise. I don't know if you've watched it. It's a BBC crime drama, very lighthearted crime drama that takes place down in the Caribbean on the island of Saint Marie. So I love it. I love watching the tropics, and you just really get like, you just kind of close your eyes and, you know, crank up the heat and put a sundress on, and you feel like you're down there. Right? It's just these little tricks that we do, right? But yeah, I mean, I will be starting, like, come January, I'm going to be starting some seeds. So I will be starting my how do I get this off? There we go. I will be starting my pansies in January. I will be starting some greens, like I started last year, some lettuce and kale. And I will probably be starting my ornamental cabbage, because I know that takes a long time to grow as well. Because all of those items, the cold hardy items like the greens and the cool flowers, I can plant out in my front planter in, end of March. So I started my pansies last year. I have to check the video. I think it was like the third week in January, and they were still pretty small going into the planters when I planted them out in the spring. And so I thought, I'm going to start them earlier. So it'll probably be as soon as like my Christmas stuff is down, then I will start planting those. And those I could actually just put in a little tray and sprinkle some seeds and just let them go. But my grow op, as I like to call it, that goes up in my bedroom. So it's a big shelving unit that goes right in front of the window, and then I hook up my lights and everything on it, because I really do need the grow lights for that time of year. We just don't have long enough days, right? So yeah, don't forget to hit the thumbs up on the chat if you're enjoying it. I always forget to mention that. Yeah, so like, does anyone else have anything that they are going to drop seeds in January? Anyone? And I'm debating Lysianthus. I don't know. I think they're absolutely beautiful. And I know Bonnie from Artist in a Garden, she grew some, and they were so pretty. It's just a lot of people watching. They're babies. They're babies. Like, they take so much work, and they're finicky, and they're hard to germinate. And then they're also hard to like just keep them alive until you can plant them out. So I'm kind of debating on whether I'm going to bother with that or not. It seems like a lot of work, and I don't know if it's going to be worth it, but then it also seems like a challenge, which is kind of something that I might enjoy doing in the, middle of winter, right? Hey, y'all listening and lurking. Hello, Rochelle, Brampton Garden. Hey, Lisa, how are you? Did you see my mail call video? I'm sure you did if you're seeing this. Yes. So thank you so much. I love it. And I love the color. It's so pretty. Yeah. JT, I hardly pay attention to the weather. We are really late with the snowfall. We got some snow but it didn't stick long. What are the temps? We are, this morning when I did my other video, we were at 32. But I think we're kind of cool for the weekend, 40s, and then we're going back up to the 50s next week. I think Monday is going to be like 59 or something. Like, it's crazy. And then I think we're dropping back to the 40s the week after that. And then I don't know if we'll go more seasonally or what, but yeah. Like, we'll be, tomorrow is saying a high of 50. So today is saying a high of, it's not even saying on here. Yeah, I think we're a high of 50 today or tomorrow. That's tomorrow. And then Sunday's 55, Monday's 59, 50, 50. And then we drop back down into the 40s for the following week. And honestly, after like last night, we might not see another frost again for like the next 2 weeks. We're sitting above 32. So I don't know. Hey, Mrs. B. Finesse. Thank you so much for joining me. Just stopping in to support. Hey. Thank you so much. Nice to have you here. How are you doing today? How long were you on your live yesterday? Because I saw that you were on, but I was at work and I can't log in when I'm at work. I was just checking a few notifications on there, but I can't watch anything when I'm at work. And you were chit-chatting all day long. Good job. Let me see. Yogi doing great, you guys. Watching this video now. Oh, okay. Yep. I want to start peppers earlier and ginger and turmeric. Oh, I'm excited to try ginger this year. I might try that. And I also want to try lemongrass. LP 60 to 40. Ooh, that's nice. Cooler weathers in Calgary. Sorry, Diane. Oh, this right here. This is Miss Diane Emmond Aranda. She is the lovely lady that sent me this. Whoop. No. How did I figure this out last time? Here we go. She is the lovely lady that sent me that book. She is a life coach, Thriving with Diane Emmons. If anyone is interested in thriving, feel free to check out her. Let me just go pop it up right now. Her Facebook group, right? It's kind of a place where you can go and just talk about, if you're having any issues or stresses and all of that, and you want to deal with it, then go for it. 5 hours and they didn't want to end, but my exactly, right? 5 hours. Wow. Awesome. Yes. Your frost is supposed to be December 29th. Your first frost? Where are you again, Viola? Frost into December. Wow. My first frost date is supposed to be, I think it's somewhere. It depends on if I go by Brampton or I go by Georgetown, and I'm kind of right in between both. So Brampton's first frost date is October 15th, and Georgetown is like October 1st or 2nd in there. So I kind of always play it between because I am on this side of Brampton, so it just depends. So, I mean, yeah, we are several weeks past our first predicted frost date. So we are doing Sanford. Oh, right. Central Florida. Yeah. Oh, so nice. I used to live in Florida. Oh, yeah. Hi, Black's Tropical Homesteads in here. Did I not see them come in? Are they in here or no? Did I ignore them? Did someone just comment? Oh, I apologize. If anyone's come in and I didn't see you coming in the little chat window, I apologize. I am so sorry. Anyone else? So, oh yeah, you're already getting snow. I'm sorry, Diane. We got hit. Like, a lot of my stuff in the garden is just my vines. I noticed the nasturtiums seem to be doing all right-ish. And my peppers, I have 2 little peppers that I left. Like, I pulled everything else out. I have 2 that I left because I'm trying to get those seeds. I want the peppers to go red so I can collect seeds off of them. So I left them in hopes that they will ripen enough for me to collect some viable seeds off of them. And honestly, if they didn't get hit, if they made it today, I checked them. They looked okay earlier, but that was before the sun hit them. If they survive today, then they'll have another like 2 weeks before I have to really worry about them. So who knows, right? That'll be very exciting. Yeah. Oh, did I post your link? Yeah, I did. It's right here. So here's the link if you would like to go check her out. Yeah, it's just, a lot of very encouraging, motivational type things. And honestly, coming winter, we are really, really, really going to need that, And And another thing I want to say about like yoga or qigong or tai chi or things like that, they're great for stress relief, lowering your cortisol levels. So a lot of times, you know, like working out, a lot of the running stuff, aerobics. My brain is not here. A lot of the aerobics, things like that can sometimes actually release cortisol into your system, which is great because it helps to, you know, if you're in shape and you don't have too much cortisol already in your system, because it helps your body to, you know, motivate and to keep going and to, you know, burn through those stresses. But if you already have an overabundance of cortisol, it can sometimes be self-defeating. Especially if you're trying to, you know, to get fit or to lose weight, it can just kind of be like boom, 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 right? So sometimes, you know, more lower intensity activities, such as a nice long walk, things that lower your stress levels can help lower the cortisol levels, which can help your body from being just so uptight about things all the time. And you actually are more likely to, you know, be able to lose weight on a, you know, in a natural, healthy manner. And it also is just really, really good for your mental health and for your heart and for your blood pressure and for your joints. Like I was saying before, like I worked in construction with my husband. I have always stretched out, like since I was a kid. I have always been into stretching, and I stretch every night in bed before I go to sleep. But doing yoga is different, and qigong and the tai chi, the moves, because what you're doing is you are strengthening and supporting all of the little tiny muscles, right? When we're lifting weights, you know, you're out running or you're lifting weights, you know, a lot of times you're focusing on a specific muscle group, but you don't focus as much on the support. And so each muscle, you know, there's tendons, there's ligaments, there's all kinds of different, you know, things that are supporting each joint in your exercise. And so doing the yoga and doing some of these, you know, you might think, oh, well, how can it do any good? It's so slow. But sometimes those moving slow and holding your balance and holding those positions, you really start working all of these little, you know, the smaller muscles and the fibers in those joints, and especially in your feet and your ankles, and that helps to create mobility in your joints, and it helps to ease stiffness, and it also helps to create strength. So you're strengthening and supporting each one of those joints as you're working. So oh, welcome in. Hey, Mystic Sensation, thank you so much for coming. Looks like you just had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I watched that video. Up here in Canada, eh? Welcome to Canada. Glad you had a nice time up here for Thanksgiving. That was a nice video and absolutely beautiful place settings. Like I was blown away. Like I was like feeling kind of bad that I debate whether I'm going to throw out the tablecloth or not, right? If you haven't seen that video, Mystic Sensation, you need any ideas for how to set your Thanksgiving table? Go watch that video. It was amazing. Yeah. So yeah, it's not just stretching. And a lot of people say, oh, well, I'm not flexible, I can't do yoga. And it's like, that means you need yoga. Right? To me, like that's the most frustrating thing when people say, oh, I can't do yoga, I'm not flexible. It's like, that's why you need it, right? Because it does help. And it's not just like flexible, like limber, like, oh, now you can do the splits, right? It's about flexibility and mobility in the joints. And honestly, after I started doing it, I was doing it for, like I said before, to help lower my blood pressure. Yeah, anytime. It was a great video. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, I noticed, you know, we would be doing like, say, well, you know, I think the first time I really noticed, I've been doing yoga for about 2 or 3 months, like 5-6 days a week. And we did a basement, and we hadn't been doing as many basement taping basements. And I think it was like the 3rd or 4th night. Came home, I took my shower. I was exhausted. I laid down on the couch, and then when I got up, you know, to make dinner or whatever else, and I was like, oh, I don't feel so bad, like my muscles. So it wasn't like it helped. It didn't it kept me from getting sore, but it really, really helped in my recovery. So like my body, my muscles, my joints were able to recover much faster than they had even when I was younger. So it's like I'm older now, but because of it, I have much better recovery in the muscles and in the joints. So like I might be sore and tired, but then I'll wake up in the morning and I'll be like, oh, okay, I'm good to go. Like, I'm all right. I can do this. Or I'm like, oh gosh, I really should have done yoga last night and I didn't, right? So let me just check the chat. We haven't had a real raining season for a couple of years. We get sprinkles. That's great if you are, out enjoying nature, but it's not so great when you're gardening, right? Outdoors with Big Matt. Welcome, Big Matt. Thank you so much for coming. Exactly. Yoga teaches you about yourself, and it's not just being corny. It does, right? And I know, because I have a hard time with corny. And I'm totally corny. I have a hard time sometimes with the whole woo woo. It gets a little too. I'm like, I'm not into that. But then sometimes it's like, you know what? Sometimes we need to be into that. I think sometimes rejecting that or saying, oh, that's cheesy or that's corny is kind of like our own defense mechanism kicking in, saying we don't want to deal with our emotions. We don't want to deal with that part of what's going on. We're just going to put it over here and put our big girl panties on and act like it's not happening, right? And sometimes you just got to do that, right? Like sometimes you just got to take charge and do stuff. But other times, you know what, you really do need to delve into why you're reacting the way you are to something, why you have a problem with something. And, our emotions play a huge role in our outlook on life and also on our health. And so our mental health and our physical health go hand in hand so much, right? If you're sick or you hurt yourself or you've got, a really bad back and you're laid up, that can lend to depression, and that can lend to all kinds of anxiety because, you start thinking, how am I going to pay my bills? What if it never gets better? All of this, right? But the other way can happen too. If we start getting too much into our mind and we get too stressed out about certain things, those emotions, those feelings can start presenting themselves as health problems. So just being aware, sometimes, if all of a sudden, your back's sore, but you haven't done anything, you're like, why is my back sore? Sometimes you can stop and you can think about, some maybe emotions that you're having. And sometimes your body just kind of stores stress in the muscles, especially your upper shoulders right here, right? So if you're stressed out about stuff, these shoulders up in here, your body can store a lot of stress there. And that can lead to a lot of tension headaches. I know for me, if I can feel it. If I get those tension headaches, it starts in my shoulders and it slowly moves its way up. So I try to get in, if I feel it coming, and do some stretches and get in there, maybe take an anti-inflammatory or a muscle relaxant before it gets into like a big stress headache. I said that yoga is a state of mind. I have a high anxiety and yoga is becoming an important part of my mental health. That is amazing. That is amazing. I have a friend who I have known since grade school. We were friends way back when. And then we lost touch. And then we found each other on Facebook years ago. And she has really, really struggled with all kinds of physical pain. Like her body is she's just racked with pain. She's got arthritis and fibromyalgia and all of these different things. And so it was probably about 2 or 3 years ago. We were talking about it, and I was saying something about, I've been posting, I think, on Facebook about the new yoga challenge I was doing. And she's like, oh, I've never tried yoga. And I said, well, give it a try, join the challenge. So she joined the Yoga with Adriene challenge. Sorry, my phone is ringing. I don't know who it is.
Call from 1520.
I don't know who that is. We're just gonna, the answering phone, the phone is picking up. So, so she tried it and she loved it. And now it's been almost 3 years, I think.
That's the factory cutoff. And this is a courtesy call to renew your warranty.
Oh my God. Why is it playing? I don't know how to. I'm like clicking off.
Press 5 now. Or press 9 to be removed from our list.
I'm pressing 9. We're removed from the list. All right. Sorry about that. I didn't realize that the phone will play the answering machine on there as well, not just the one downstairs. Wow. New phones, new features, but now y'all know that I almost got scammed. All right. And honestly, she has done yoga every single day since. Every single day for like 3 years. Because she says if she doesn't do the yoga, she cannot get through the day. Like the pain is just her body, the aches and the pains, whatever, right? So I feel kind of guilty. Like I introduced her to the yoga and then she's kicked my butt. Like she has gone on and she has done it. And she says, it's really contributed to her being able to function and her being able to, they all want us to do Stupid extended warranties, right? Sorry about that. I was clicking end and off, and it just kept wanting to. I don't know. I couldn't get her to shut up. All right. Anyways, yeah. So I have been so happy for her that that's helped her out. You know, she's still struggling with things. It's not like, you know, it's not like, oh, she has no issues by any means, but she's saying that it is one of the things that's really enabled her to keep going. And that's been awesome. Hey, Scott, rambling with the Brums. Come on in. It's rambling with Rochelle this morning. Thank you so much for coming. So yeah, that's kind of where, you know, it's inspiring. I think when, you know, you see how it's helped other people. I get tension headaches, been like that for about 5 to 7 years. Oh my goodness. Well, get on that. Oh, there's another guy, and I follow his videos, and here, I'll find his link. His name is Austin Go, and he is, let me see if I can find it. He has 886,000 subscribers, so you know he's got to be good, right? Here's the official link to his YouTube page. So he is called the Natural Method Health Solutions twice a week. So he releases videos all the time for all kinds of issues, from arthritis to anxiety to like if you look on his link, he's got all kinds, and they're usually about 5 minutes long, you know, little like massages you can do, little exercises you can do for each individual issue. And I've done quite a few of his, and they do really, really help. So maybe check out GT, see if he has one for the tension headaches. He has one, I think, for the sore or stiff neck. And some of it's like pretty, you know, interesting, you know, basic massage things, but there's a few on there that he'll have you do, and you're like, what? And like he has one for like allergies and sinuses. And so like when my allergies were bad, I was doing a lot of, you know, these little pressure points that you're massaging or whatever. But the one that actually seemed to like clear me up the best, and it seems really weird, was at the very end of doing all the facial pressure points and stuff, is you just kind of rub the back of your head and the back of your ears. And even now, I don't know, as soon as I like just kind of gently rub the back of my ears, it just, I don't know, you can almost kind of feel like your nasal passage is kind of opening up. So he has some interesting videos. So yeah, if you know that you get the tension headaches and you get them a lot, then definitely every morning you get up, do some neck stretches, some neck rolls, maybe even do some exercises that help strengthen those muscles and help it relax, right? So you know, stretching is great, but you also need to kind of help strengthen and support the muscles in there so that those muscles don't get tense if they get overworked, right? So you got to support, you know, work, you know, the traps and through your chest, relaxing, massaging in here, and everything helps. Everything's all interconnected. So that really helps it all work together. Hey, Scott, how's it going? We are discussing what we're going to do to not get the winter blues in the winter. Because we know it's coming. I wonder if he can fix my stiff neck. You know what? It's worth a try. Yes. Flexibility. Yes. He has videos on stiff necks. Don't forget to take your vitamin D, especially you, GT, up there in Alaska, because I know you are going to start losing your daylight fast come November and December. You are going to be 3-4 hours of daylight. The more you work out, the more you need to stretch. I read that somewhere. Yeah, in like weightlifting. I think it was, what was the book? New Rules of Lifting. I read that book several years ago, and I did follow through with some of that. But yeah, they say sometimes the rest in between your lifts and your curls, and then the stretching in between sets is almost as important as the actual weights themselves, right? Oh, hey, what is she up to now? What is she up to? We don't know. We don't know what she's up to. Does she know what she's up to? Vitamin D every morning. I am full of rods. I was being a smart butt. Well, you know what? It can't hurt to try. You never know. You never know. Have you tried like even even a bit of acupressure, anything like that helps loosen that up, or just go get a massage, right? So we are all welcoming. Very good. Super glad to hear it. I take it every morning, even in the summer, and then in the winter I take more. Just like oh, I didn't bring in the other thing I was going to bring in. I forgot. I left it in my my room. The other thing I was going to bring in is one of the saddest things sometimes for me is losing my tan. The winter months come and I lose that. I know it's hard to believe I actually have a tan right now, but I lose the summer glow a bit. And so I did find this lotion at Winners, which in Canada we have Winners. It's similar to like TJ Maxx, Ross, Marshalls, that kind of thing in the States. And they had this lotion. It's from New Zealand, I believe it is. And it gives you just this very nice, gentle kind of tan. It is the best tanning lotion I have ever found. I tried it. It was very subtle. And I did one leg and not the other leg just to see if it did anything. Oh my gosh, did it do something? I was very impressed. And there's no streaking, anything like that. So I find sometimes just something like that, especially since I'm not going to be able to get away and go anywhere this January. Just adding a little, the tanning cream, my arms, my chest, my face a bit, just to make me feel like I have been out in the sun or that I have been somewhere tropical. And, because I'm not going to do tanning beds or anything like that, right? But sometimes, or a little bronzer or something to make you feel like you've actually still been out in the sunshine, because I actually had a bit of a tan this year. Yeah. LP is great. Yep. Yoga is great for your mental health. I used to lift weights at home and loved it. Yeah, I need to get back into it. I go through phases, and it's not good. I make my football kids stretch 15 minutes before weights and after. Excellent. Excellent. Just keep in mind that before you do weights, you want to do like the dynamic stretching. And then after the weights is when you can do the static stretching. But not trying to do too much static stretching before you've warmed up the muscles. Because that's how you can pull something. Don't ask. Don't ask how I know that. Yeah, I was double jointed as a child growing up. I always had joint issues. I used to sprain my ankles all the time. I can't even tell you how many times I've sprained my ankles. The worst one was when I was 14, and it's still got a lot of like scar tissue and swelling in there. And then on the job, like I would just randomly step wrong and roll it, and they would get sore and achy. And then that has been another great side effect of yoga, was after doing the yoga, especially some of the positioning like in Warrior. And normally for Warrior, I would have my feet out, and she has you angling it more, like at a 45-degree angle. And I noticed that really puts like a stretch right into the back of that ankle. And I have been able to strengthen my ankles. I have, knock on wood, I have not twisted or sprained my ankle in the past 4 or 5 years since I've been doing the yoga. Like, and I'll step wrong and I'll be like, and then it's like, oh, my foot's fine. It bounced back. It's recovered. And so I know that the yoga has really helped strengthen all those little parts of my ankles, and my feet has really strengthened the feet as well. That is to stretch ligaments in your ankle. Yeah. So it's stretching the ligaments, and it's also strengthening them and everything. And so that's the thing with yoga, is a lot of times it's not just stretching, right? You're building a lot of strength too in some of the poses. And I did this Qigong for weight loss video last Sunday, because I was like, I've done Qigong before. It was 37 minutes long. I got this. And even at the beginning, he says, make sure that you've done like my leg video first. Make sure you've done my arm video. You've done my ab video first, to, build the foundation for this one. And I was like, I've done videos before. Oh my God. It's like, how can you sweat this much moving so slow? But you hold like some of these static poses, and you just are going into this motion, and you are using every single muscle in your body. I was so sore the next day. I was just like, oh my goodness, this kicked my butt, because it was just movements and positions. And, you kind of go into this squat or this lunge, and then you're holding it and you're moving your body. Yeah, it's amazing. And it's like, I'm working all day. I work in the garden. I work, with my husband. We've been doing a lot of ceilings lately. I've been rolling a lot of ceilings. I've been painting a lot and rolling them with the mud and doing the plastering. And, it's not like I've just been sitting on the couch, but this really awakened some of these small muscles and fibers that you do not use on a daily basis, right? So it gets in there and it really helps. It's opposite of double jointed. I know I'm double jointed. What? Oh, what did I miss? She said something. I've never stretched an ankle. Good morning, Clausen. Thank you so much for popping by. You made your first live. Yay! And it's my first morning live. Normally I go Thursday evenings every other week. And then today I was off, and I thought, you know what? I'm just going to come and say hi to everybody and see what everybody's up to, because I kind of wanted to talk about this. And I was thinking, should I make a video or should I not make a video? And then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go live. So it's so nice to have you here. And Michael's Adventures, thank you so much for showing up. I can't believe you've never sprained your ankle. Oh my God, be grateful. Be grateful. It's very, very painful. It's very painful. Yeah, I got to get back into using the weights at home. I have them down in the basement. I did this. I was doing the new rules of lifting for women. He had a series of exercises and everything in there that I really did enjoy, but absolutely, everybody who comes on weight days, he's a physiotherapist. We have a program set up for the boys. I think it's a fun game. Boys are not too smart. Haha, we've made stretching a huge part. Amen. That's so important. And I know, like, back when I used to go to the gym, which was a long time since I was at the gym, but you see the guys over there and they're just lifting max, max, and they skip leg day, and they don't bother with the stretching and anything like that, right? Good morning, new subscriber here from Kingsville, Ontario. Welcome, Ontarioites. Good morning. Hopefully you're keeping warm this morning. It's a bit nippy out there, although it's sunny, so it's can't complain too much. Clausen, Michael's Adventures, everybody, yeah, that's great. That's great. And you know what? If you start them on it now, because I think a lot of, like my husband, I'm not going to stretch. Oh my God, to get him to stretch, no. And I think a lot of, I think a lot of men think, oh, that's girls stretch, guys lift, girls stretch, guys lift, right? Yoga's for girls, whatever. But I actually had a friend growing up, and his dad was this big framer guy, and they played football in high school. And when they were younger, their mom had put all three of her big strapping boys through ballet. And they said it helped them so much, even playing football, and it helped them in construction when they were walking up on the rafters and all of that. They had excellent balance and coordination. So, yeah, be careful using the S word. YouTube could take down the slide. What did I say? What S? What word did I say? Stretching? Oops. I don't know. Make sure, careful using the S word. YouTube could take down this live. I don't know what, can you spell it out weird? I don't know what I said. Oops. I restrict their lifting until they can show why their platelets are going. Oh, their growth plates. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's very important. Yeah. Oh, you can say that. You can say that when you're, someone in the chat. Oh, okay. You were talking to her. I'm sorry. You were talking to Margaret. I'm so sorry. I thought you were talking to me. Because I think I can say it from here, right? Yeah. Right. I can say it from here, but yeah, typing it out into the chat. I thought you meant what I was saying, and I'm like, stretching? Sorry. I'm out of it this morning. I know dirt bike racers that took gymnastics to learn to tumble better, or maybe it was to be around the ground. Hey, you never know. Whatever works. But it's true. And I think sometimes we get, stuck in our head, oh, that's for those kind of people, or that's for that. And we don't really take away and understand what, behind it all, right? Like meditation and, things like that. A lot of people, oh, I can't sit. I can't do meditation because I can't just sit. My mind wanders. And it's like, well, okay, first of all, everybody's mind wanders. Like that's the whole point of meditation is to try and keep your mind from wandering, but it all does. Like you're sitting there and you're like, did I change the laundry? What am I having for dinner? Like, but it's all about trying to, to grow that practice, right? Because the more you try it, it's like any muscle or anything like that, strengthening it. It's, oh, hey, whole new perspective. Welcome. Thank you so much. Just coming through at lunchtime. Oh, nice. Is it lunchtime? Oh, yeah, it's almost lunchtime. I've been chatting for a while here. Yeah, well, I'm off to go some running around before my live. See you later. I will see you later, Scott. Hopefully I will be able to come in and say hi on your live. I am planning on digging out some of my canna lilies that are in the pots because I think they did get hit enough by a frost and I don't want my pots to crack. So I might be pulling those out later and getting them out on the deck to dry out. Thank you so much for stopping by. My mom was all about yoga and I thought, oh my God, I'm not going to do yoga. Then I took a class in college and got it. She was right. Right. And I think sometimes it depends on, isn't that guy over there cute? Oh no, what is she up to now? She's out of control. She's out of control. Oh, Vision Acres. Hey, thank you so much for coming by. I think JT's picking on Scott. I don't know what's going on over there. I don't know what's going on with him. Yeah, I gotta keep an eye on you two. I see, yeah. I think sometimes we get an idea in our head, of what things are, what meditation is, and what yoga is, and sometimes we can just make it what we want it to be. You can take the bits and pieces from it. Some people go more into the philosophical side of it, and if you're into that, then great. If you're not, you don't have to. You can stick with more, a bit more of the physical side. You need to start your routine back. It really does help. I know. I don't have any mods in here right now. That's the problem. Sorry. Yeah, I don't really have any mods. I have a couple of mods, but it's too early for them. This was a surprise live. They don't even know that I'm on. So it's all right. We don't need just behave yourselves. No more SUBing. All right. SUB. I'm not even going to try and spell it. Yeah. So maybe we need to do like a challenge. What are we doing each day? I thought it was kind of funny when I started, was it 3 years ago now, I think, the Canadian Health Heart Association put out a kind of a challenge and you could sign up for it. And so I went in and you would go in and they take your blood pressure. And they give you this app that you download and, talking about, trying to, lower your blood pressure in healthy ways. And I thought a lot of it, they did talk a bit about, healthy eating and exercise, but the majority, like 90% of what they focused on was mindfulness. And I was really surprised at that. And so, they talked a lot about, walking, taking a nice slow walk, like you're walking an old dog, which I know exactly what speed that is, with just a nice relaxing walk and go for about half an hour to an hour if you can, is like one of the absolute best things you can do for your physical, mental, emotional health. And I found that to be really interesting. I was like, oh, wow. Sometimes we think that we have to go for a run or you have to go for a fast walk or you have to go for a jog to make it worth your while. And sometimes just stepping back and just enjoying what you're doing, going for a walk and taking in nature, taking in, your surroundings and just appreciating it and not pushing your body, not pushing yourself. Sometimes that can be far more beneficial than anything else. I've been on and off with yoga. Every time I get back to it, I feel rejuvenated. The trick is to find a teacher and a class that works for you. Exactly. And that's why, I had been really struggling before I found yoga with Adriene. Because a lot of that, I did find a lot of the instructors just to be kind of annoying. I don't know. They just kind of, it's like, meh. And I know there's one Tai Chi couple and they're like a married couple. And some of their videos, it's like, Buddy must have slept on the couch last night because you could almost feel like the tension in the room between them. And it would be like she would be doing the moves and then he would just be like doing them just a bit slower. And it was almost like he was doing it just to annoy her. It was just like that. I'm like, this is the least relaxing thing I have ever done because I think the two of them are just ready to kill each other. I don't know. It was not working for me, that group. Yeah. So yeah, you have to find one. That's what about online classes. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I like yoga with Adriene just as basic. Most of her things. I like her 30-day challenges. I've also, if I decide I want to challenge myself, I'll do a few of Boho Beautiful videos, and then I will go back and realize that wow, I'm not as advanced as I thought I was. Some of her videos, she'll be like, and now go into this pose, and you're like, how did you even get there, right? So yeah, try different ones. I also like what is it, Yogi? She does yoga and qigong. I think it's called Yochi, YOQI, and she does some really nice yin yoga, which yin or restorative yoga poses, which are really, really nice too, right? It's very relaxing. You hold a pose for 5 to 7 minutes in a very supported position. You do make sure, if you are doing any that call for props, make sure you are using those props and don't just wing it, because you can injure yourself. That's why I made myself a nice yoga bolster a few years ago. But some of those, it seems easy, right? You're like, oh, you just lay in this position for 5 to 7 minutes. But sometimes, like, man, you really, really get into these really deep stretches, especially like when you lay on the bolster and open your back. And it's amazing. Like after 3 or 4 minutes, you think, God, I'm stretched out, right? And then like each minute that passes, you'll just feel more and more release from your body, and then by the time you're done with like a full, like if you do like a full hour yin session, oh my God, like you can hardly even get up. Like you just feel like a noodle. Like it is amazing. You feel like you've had a deep tissue massage because your body really, really loosens up. It's raining. Oh, that's not bad. It's better than snow. This weather is crazy. Exactly. Yeah. It was funny because my dad's app said snow and my app said rain for today and tomorrow. And then I went to another one and it said snow. So I think, especially for Anchorage, they're like right on the cusp there, right? Know the difference between good hurt and bad hurt. Yes. Very, very important. Very important, because yeah, we've all had the bad hurt, and know when you are overextending your muscles, right? And so yeah, if you're gonna do like the yin yoga, like I was mentioning before, so like static stretching, hopefully I'm not like hopefully this is for people that don't know what the difference between dynamic and static stretching. So static stretching is when you stretch and you hold that position, like when you reach for your toes and you hold that position. A static stretch is something that needs to be done with warm muscles. So that's something you do after a workout, after a run. Whereas a dynamic stretching is stretching with motion, right? So you want to stretch, but you keep moving while you're kind of stretching, and more of like a loosening up kind of a thing. And that's what you want to do before your workout, before you do anything like that. So if you are going to do something like a yin yoga or, really deep stretching yoga, maybe go for a bit of a walk first, just to kind of loosen, or do kind of a warm-up session. A lot of people will actually have you do that first. They will have you do the warm-up session and then you go into it, and some people don't. So just know that if you've ever done anything and you feel sore the next day, or like not a good sore, but a bad sore, then maybe you needed to loosen up a bit beforehand. Just warm everything up. Good to know. Yes. Thank you. Because I've been there, right? Like I've struggled with back pain and ankle pain and joint pain since I was a kid, due to the fact that I was constantly spraining my ankles. I had a bad bike accident where I flipped over the handlebars, and I had to go to the chiropractor for quite a while after that. I was getting what I called like shocks. So it was like, I think it was like a pinched nerve. I would just all of a sudden just send like these bolts of pain through my body. So I was seeing a chiropractor fairly regularly when I was a kid. And they said, yeah, I've seen my x-rays. they're not great. So I did do some damage to the growth plates up here in the cervical part of my neck and the low back. So I had one tell me that I should have been a couple of inches taller. And then I was like, well, can I use that with my BMI then? Like, my body doesn't know I'm not 5'9". I'm only 5'7", so I'm going to start using 5'9" now for my BMI, right? Why not? Why not? My body doesn't know. It still thinks I should be taller, right? So yeah, I just I took to the stretching when I was a kid, just kind of instinctively. I was double jointed, like I could do the splits, I could put my feet behind my head, I could pull my foot from back behind, stretch it over, touch my heel to my nose, all the way through high school. I could do that. And then I gained weight, and then I couldn't do that anymore. So I was very, very flexible, but I didn't always have the strength from, hey, Stacy, she must have heard her ears were burning. Welcome, Stacy. Thanks for coming in. We were talking about your channel earlier and how we sorry, I'm trying to get more comfortable. I got to get a better office chair. After a while, it gets a little uncomfortable. But yeah, like I just learned to do stretching like every night before, I'd be watching TV, and most people are sitting on the couch, and as a kid I would be sitting on the floor stretching because it was what I knew to do to help relieve the pain in my back and my neck and everything. Yeah, we were talking about, getting over the winter blues, and someone mentioned watching, they like watching gardening channels where it's warmer, and they mentioned Farming in the City with Stacy, and I said, yes. And then I said, how can you be depressed watching Stacy? Because she is always so uplifting and in such a good mood. So really, really happy that you were able to pop in and join us. And do we even want to ask Stacy what the weather's like? I don't know if GT wants to know what your weather is like, Stacy. Yeah, so if you don't know, I mean, I think everyone here knows Stacy, but if you don't, she is in Jamaica. So it is very warm, and I'm assuming sunny where she is at. It is sunny here, but not so warm. What is my current temperature right now? Let's see. Currently in Brampton, we are 43. Feels like 41. So I have a high today of 48 degrees and sunny. So, but last night, yeah, I was surprised. It actually felt pretty warm. I had to go. My daughter forgot her phone over at a friend's house, so I had to walk down the street with her. And it was dark out, and so I didn't want her going by herself, so I said, fine. So I put my coat on to go with her, and I was like, it's actually not so cold out. And last night, I don't know if you guys are aware where you're at, but last night was Diwali. And here in Brampton, we have a very large Indian population, and there were fireworks going off for hours and hours and hours. But it was, a part of it, I think, was because it was so warm. Normally Diwali is freezing, but I'm in Tacoma. Oh, yeah, right. Tacoma. Yeah, I grew up in Oregon. I grew up in Salem. And my aunt and uncle, my aunt's in just south of Tacoma there, actually. Gosh, I can't think of the name of it. She's not far from Tacoma now, but they used to live up in Kirkland, right? So, yeah. I grew up in the Pacific Northwest, so that is why I'm so familiar with seasonal depression disorder. Even though I never really dealt with that back then, even like, I mean, I probably did, and I just didn't even realize it at the time. But I know a lot of people that have dealt with it, and then I know, especially in places that get, the northern climates where you get those shorter days in the winter time. My gosh, it's hard to, want to get motivated and go outside and go do something and go for a walk when it's, 5 o'clock in the afternoon and it's freezing cold outside and it's pitch black. It's very hard to get motivated. So, yeah, so I just thought we could sit here and talk about some of the things we can do, especially in the house. Like there's so many videos, there's so many apps, there's so much we can do with YouTube. And then like last year, especially like in the earlier spring, like I think January, February, March, we're in the house, the kid was home, she's not going out, we were in lockdown, they weren't going to schools, they weren't doing anything like that. And I pulled out the old, what a description. I pulled out the Wii. And the Wii Fit board. And I went on that thing, and I'll tell you right now, 20 minutes of hula hoop on the Wii board, like that gets you sweaty. So I just kind of made it a thing with my daughter, like every day, she had to do something physical, some kind of a exercise of some point. And so the Wii, it made it a lot of fun. Like there's games on there. The boxing is a good workout. Like I'm not kidding. Like you'll feel it the next day. Even the Wii boxing, right? So that was one thing that, especially if you have younger kids. Yeah, the Wii is awesome. Yeah, I want to look into. I think there was actually another boxing, like an actual boxing video game that I wanted to get because that one I really enjoyed. And you're like using the whole thing. Maybe I should. You don't have the board? Oh, you have to get the board because you have to get the Pro, Wii Fit Pro, and there's games on there. There's like bicycling. There's jogging. My daughter liked doing the jogging ones. I'd get like have one of those little like mini Pro jogger, like the mini rebounder, mini trampoline. I'm trying to think what it is. You can get them at the, $30-$40 at the, Canadian Tire or sports stores like that. And those are really nice to kind of jog on or to just bounce on. It's really, really good for your health. It's good for your lymphatic system. And it's very easy and gentle on your joints because my doctor has told me that I am not allowed to run anymore. I did try running for a little bit and I actually did enjoy it as much as I thought I would hate it. I actually did enjoy it. I enjoyed seeing the progress. Like I did the Couch to 5K program. And so it's like 3 days a week and you just increase your the running segments as opposed to the walking segments. And sorry, I'm going to sneeze. And I actually really enjoyed it. I was surprised. I was always one of those, if you see me running, call the police kind of people. But I kind of got into it, and then I hurt my knee, and I went to the doctor, and the doctor was like, "Yeah, you should not be running." So I have flat feet, I have edema, I have bad joints, so running is done. So I'm trying to stick to more other things, right? I use the Wii for workouts as well. Oh, I clicked on the wrong one. Sorry. My spouse claimed the boxing wasn't a workout. It is a workout. I'm sorry. If you can get sweaty doing it, it's a workout, and it's fun. It's fun. Oh yeah, exactly. Yep. Yeah, definitely get the board. You know what? Well, I don't know where you're at if it's as easy to find, but I find them at the thrift stores all the time. People are getting rid of the boards. They're not using them anymore, but they came out with like the Wii Fit, which had like, it has, a few like kind of like body weight strength training. It has a few yoga on it and a few aerobic things. But then they came out with the Wii Fit Plus, and it has a lot more games. And that one's really fun. It has a lot more extra things that add to it. That's what he said too. You are really in a mood this morning. Good Lord. You're flat-footed, bow leg, and pigeon-toed. Well, that makes two of us, GT. Yeah. So it was funny because I bought the Wii Fit years ago when my daughter. I think I bought it after I had my daughter. Right, I was like, I'm going to lose the weight. I'm going to get fit. And so actually, I did start dropping weight pretty easily after I had her. I think a lot of my weight problems are hormone related, and I was using the Wii Fit, the first one, and I was doing like a lot of the like leg lifts and the sides, and I went down like two pant sizes within a couple of months just from like the toning of those. And then I switched to the Plus, and they have one on there, and you're like, you just walk on it. So you're just stepping on the board, and then you're steering with the controller, and you're riding a bike on the screen, right? And so you have to go and you have to find these flags on the island. And so the first time I tried it, I had done like, you build up, right? So the first one is like, you got to find 10 flags and then 20 flags. And so the first time I had unlocked the advanced, my daughter was really little. She was still in her baby carrier, and she'd just fallen asleep in the car. So I carried her in the baby carrier, and I set it down in the basement. And I thought, you know what? While she's still finishing up her nap, I don't want her to wake up. I'm going to get my workout in. So I was really excited. I was like, oh yeah, I get to try the new, I had just unlocked the new advanced program on here. So I start, right? And so I'm going along, and it's so funny the way your mind works, because when that bike is going up the hill, you are huffing and puffing. And then when the bike is cruising down the hill, it feels easier, even though you're going at the same speed. You haven't changed. It blew my mind just how much harder it was watching that stupid bike go up a screen. It's all virtual, but I mean, it just impressed upon me like how intense our minds, how they work. Like it's kind of crazy. And anyways, so I was on this thing. I could not find this flag. There was this one flag. I circled that island, I don't know how many times. And then Sydney finally woke up, and she, you know, I was like, oh, okay. So I stopped the game. And I had thought that I was probably doing it for about maybe 20 minutes, 25 minutes, because I was having so much fun doing it. It was 54 minutes. 54 minutes I had spent circling this stupid wee island trying to find that flag. No, I didn't wake her up. I had the volume way down low. I did not wake her up. I can see it by closing. Honestly, and it's funny because my daughter, when she was little, she could not do the cycling one because she would be absolutely terrified if the bike goes off the mountain, because it just goes off and then the person tumbles and it resets. But it's like, it's fake. But she was absolutely terrified. I would have to steer the bike. Like, she could not handle it going off the end. It was so funny. But yeah, I woke up the baby. Never wake up the baby. Never wake up the baby. Yeah. But it was really fun. And now I do find, I will warn you though, GT, when I do the bike one, I try not to do the longer one because it does kind of bother my knee a bit. And I think it's just because it's not a natural gait on there, right? So you're just kind of marching up and down. And so if I'm not wearing my shoes with my arch support, I can notice that a little bit. So just be careful with that. But they wouldn't like wrecking the bikes. No, but she was terrified. And it would be funny. Like, sometimes they also have like the soccer one to where like they throw the soccer ball at your head. And so you hit the ball, but if it's a shoe or something else, you have to duck out of it. She would literally like fall off the balance board, like ducking to get out of the way of the ball, like coming at her head. But yeah, I mean, so especially if you have a hard time exercising or just moving in the house because you get bored, try some of the video games. You know, Dance Resolution. Well, it's called. It's the same board, but it's the video game. So let me see. Let me just look it up really quick. Wii Fit Plus. And honestly, I don't even know if they've done an upgrade on it, right? Like mine, like I'm telling you, I got it when my daughter was a baby, and she's 12 and a half now. So I got it at like 12 years ago. I don't really think that they've upgraded it either. I think it's the same. You should be able to find it cheap, and cheap with the board, right? Here you go. Let me see. I'll post this link. So here's the original in-box balance board game, Wii Fit Plus with the box, $29 right there on eBay. Oh, but it's Canadian. So anyways, okay, search your own. Search for your own, but you should be able to, I mean, it should not be expensive to get. And then there was also a boxing game that you should be able to use with the Wii. That was pretty good too. And some of the boxing ones, like the boxing on that, you do use the board as well for the stepping and everything. Yeah. Yeah, it's just called Wii Fit. Here. So here's what the title says for that. But it's Wii Fit. It's Wii Fit Plus. And the plus, it just has a lot more games on it. It makes it a lot more fun. And especially if you have a kid in the house or a husband that's very competitive, it will rank you on the score. Like it will give you a score after each exercise. So even after the yoga or after those, it will tell you how well you did. And then, yeah, you can compete with other people in your house to try and get a higher score on that. And that can kind of, that helps motivate people. I always try to get better than I had last time, And there are some other balance games on there as well. So it's not necessarily just, exercise. I find the hula hoop one is pretty good, and the boxing, and there's, some marching ones. There's one that we have to do math. That one's hard. It's like you have to do math while you're moving, and then you hit that one's a little tricky sometimes. But then they'll have like some of the yoga ones, and I found, it helped with my posture on a lot of the yoga, because like you're balancing. And so it's like, tree pose, and you're balancing on one foot and your other foot's, wedged up on your thigh, and you're watching your little dot on the screen trying to stay within, the parameters. And so it really, really does help you work on your balance. And I will say, like, between that and doing the yoga, I feel a lot more confident on the top of a ladder than I used to, because I have fear of heights. And so sometimes getting up on a ladder, it'd be like, but knowing that I have more of the stability in my ankles and my legs from doing, the yoga and everything. And also from going from, because when I would hold on to the top of the ladder and I put my feet at, the second to the top step, and you're kind of bent over holding onto the ladder, and then you stand up. And then sometimes just standing up like that, would make, you kind of get like a bit of a head rush and make you a little bit dizzy. And so practicing, try not the spell correct. Oh no. Don't worry. Oh, the skiing one. Oh yeah. I like the skiing one. The slalom. And then once you're doing pretty good. And then also once you miss one gate, you're done. Like you can't recover once you missed one gate, because then you start overcorrecting and then you go, yeah. But I found the yoga, like, because you go from like, down dog, or you go from like a half fold and then you stand up, and your body kind of getting used to that. It really just, some of those motions you don't realize it carries over into the real world. And so I felt more confident on the scaffold, because I do have fear of heights. I don't like being up there, but I do feel more confident when I'm on the scaffold or on a ladder, and doing some of those things, because I do feel like I have better muscle control and balance from doing the yoga, from doing some of those one-legged poses. We do that normally and call it the flamingo standing. Yes, I love flamingos. It was so funny. So most of you know I have like these right in my backyard. I have my flamingos. I had to put them up into the attic last week. I'm sad. I was actually thinking of maybe keeping them down and using them out front for part of my Christmas decor, but I thought that'd look cute, a little scarf, but the family vetoed that idea. So I stuck them up in the attic. But it was funny. My daughter's friends came by the backyard a few weeks ago, and the two girls, they're twins, and the one walks out and she goes, wow, when she saw all the flowers out back. And then the other one walked out and goes, but why flamingos? I was just cracking up, because it's kind of like, it's like their two personalities just like perfectly explained. So now every time I see the flamingos, I'm like, but why flamingos? Yeah. My spouse is a skier. He's been skiing from childhood, not me. I use the other Wii workouts. Yeah, I used to go skiing. Like I originally, I was from Alaska, and my parents would go skiing in the winter, and I was on skis as soon as I could walk. I've never been a great skier, but yeah, we used to always go skiing every winter growing up, until I moved to Florida. Then not a lot of skiing. Not a lot of skiing down in Boca. No. And then I moved here, and we don't, they do have skiing, and a lot of people do go skiing around here, but I don't know, you kind of get out of it, and I don't have any of the stuff here, and it gets expensive. And when you are self-employed and you need your body for work, and you realize, if I fall down the mountain and I sprain my ankle, or I break an arm or a leg, I don't have sick leave, right? I'm just like, I ain't gonna work. If I ain't working, I ain't getting paid, right? How often do you have to clean up after them flamingos? It's free fertilizer for my garden. And they didn't, apparently the bunnies are not scared of flamingos. So if you were wondering, yeah. They're also not scared of the fake owl thing we have. You went skiing one time in middle school. Oh, that's too bad, GT. But you were, well, wait, you grew up in Georgia though, right? I believe I remember that when you were over on Brooks Live, right? Yeah, I said I'll put them in the attic. Oh, yeah. They're going to be up in the attic, and they're going to be guarding the attic for me. They'll be keeping an eye on any misbehaving up there. Yeah, my daughter, that's the only time she's actually been skiing is in grade school. They went skiing. It's fun, but it is a young person's game. I'm going to tell you right now. You can get sore really quick in those boots. Oh my gosh, you use a lot of muscles skiing. So it was fun. I did enjoy doing it, but I honestly don't really miss it. I don't miss the freezing cold face and then going into the warm up into the, lounge, and then you're roasting because of course you still have all your gear on. So then you have to peel everything off and you're all sweaty and it's messy and everything smells like wet wool socks. You moved to Alaska halfway through 7th grade. Okay. So then you would have gone in there. Okay. Halfway through 7th grade from Georgia to Alaska. Wow. That would be quite the change of scenery, I imagine. Do you ever think of moving back down that way, or are you pretty happy to stay where you are in Alaska? You've made a nice home of it there. I still have family up there as well. My cousin and uncle, they're up in Fairbanks, and then my parents, as I mentioned, are in Anchorage now. But they're new to Anchorage, and so it still doesn't feel like home there, right? Like they still don't know their way around too much. The only thing I like about skiing is the chalet. The chalet is nice. I went one time. I actually had a sprained ankle, and so I went with my friends up to the ski lodge, but I didn't actually go skiing. I just hung out in the lodge, and that was better. I cried when I got here. It was wintertime when I went home. That would really stink. I get that. Yeah. Oh gosh. Well, I mean, that's a huge move too, across the country. And then it's winter and you probably had never seen snow like that ever. Yeah. And then the daylight, the hours. Well, hopefully you've settled in. Yeah. I moved from Alaska to Oregon slowly. So I kind of eased myself into that, and then to Florida, and then back to Canada. What? You think about moving a few times a year, yeah? Let me guess, when winter hits? Let me guess, November, end of November, and then like February or March, and you're like, why is it still so cold? I think sometimes March can be our worst month here. We get the most snow. It can be the coldest. And I think part of it is just like, I'm so done and I'm ready for spring. And so being cold in March just makes me angry. Yeah. And then that's like, we have March break and it's always super cold. It's like, why can't we have like spring break? Why can't we move it to April when it's usually a little bit nicer and you can actually go out and do something, right? I don't know. Yeah. But anyways, I didn't even realize how late it's getting. It is after 12. So I am going to just say thank you so much for joining me, and hopefully, it's something to think about. And if you know somebody in your life that you've noticed, maybe they're starting to get, a little depressed, their mood's changing or whatever, maybe encourage them to try a few different things. Vitamin D3, thinking about stuff for next year. I didn't even mention the journaling. I do enjoy doing some of the journaling and planning in that. And then, getting some kind of exercise, moving your body. You can do it at home. You can do it inside. You can go outside and get a walk, anything like that. Right. So I was a child and it was culture shock. February is really when I want to move. We get like yeah, I hear you. I know. February and March here too are just the worst. The worst. Yeah. Let's all move to Florida. Let's all move to Florida and start a compound. We'll just move in with Eco Neighbor and Gigi, and we'll just be like, hey, we're here now. And let's do this. We'll build a commune and we'll grow veggies and food and we'll do yoga every day. Sounds good? I'm in. All right. Yep. I got to move along as well too. I got to go get me some food. I'm getting hungry. Just while you guys make me feel bad. Don't feel bad, Stacy. We'll be watching with jealousy come February on your videos, but we'll be enjoying your lives. Make sure you're at the beach, and then we'll come along and we'll bring a nice pina colada or something with us, and we'll feel like we're at Florida is pretty crazy. Yeah, Florida is pretty well. Thank you so much for coming and joining me. This is my first surprise morning live. It was fun. I'm glad everybody that was able to stop by, and I will see you all next time. Thank you.